It's October and this is the Library Roadshow. On the show today, the 40th Annual Author Illustrator Program, Attic Treasures, and the Baton Rouge Mini Maker Faire coming up on the Library Roadshow. Welcome to the October edition of the Library Roadshow. I'm Mary Stein, and this is a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. Fall brings a different kind of energy to the library. Not only the daily grind of research and homework help, but also planning and execution of 4 premier events. The library's Author Illustrator series dates back to 1978 and has featured a host of literary stars from the world of children's book publishing. This year's author is the celebrated author and illustrator Rosemary Wells, the creator of the beloved Max and Ruby books for children. She'll present a free program, Booking Up Our Kids, on Thursday, October 5th at 7 p.m. at the main library at Goodwood. Kids, parents, teachers, librarians, and anyone who loves her work should attend. Then on Friday, October 6th, Rosemary will present a workshop for teachers, librarians, and those interested in a more in-depth look at her writing style and process. A small fee is charged for this special event, and registration is still available. Attic Treasures and Collectibles takes place the very next day on Saturday, October 7th. This is another event that's been around for a while, now in its 17th year. We invite you to dig through your closets, look under the bed, and check in your attic to see if you have any antiques or family heirlooms to bring for our experts to examine, identify, and evaluate. We never know what's going to come through the doors at this free event. It's kind of like our own antique roadshow. Now you're limited to 3 items each, so make the most of it. The Baton Rouge Mini Maker Faire is close behind on October 21st, but we'll hear more about that in a moment. We'll round out the month on Saturday, October 28th with a 50s flashback theme at the Community History Festival at the Pride Cheneyville Branch Library. Or if you want to stay a little closer to the river, the Louisiana State Book Festival downtown on the grounds of the state capitol, the state library, the state museum, and everything in between. We'll be there to announce the spring 2018 One Book, One Community title. But until then, my lips are sealed. To find out more about any of these or other library events, check out our newsletter, The Source. You can pick one up at any library location or read it online at ebrpl.com.
Free access to books, audio, and library resources are just a few of the benefits available to you when you get a library card. Need free access to a computer? You get that. Want free access to premium digital resources like Mango Languages and lynda.com? You get that. Need to book a meeting space? You get that. Heck, you can even check out a telescope or use a digital printer with your library card. If you live in East Baton Rouge Parish, pick up your free library card from your local branch library today. Premium access to everything the library system has to offer is waiting for you.
While it's always fun to promote the library's many fabulous and entertaining resources such as Canopy, Quello, and Freegal, the digital library is filled with tools for serious research too. Adam St. Pierre joins us now to explain in the Digital Down Low.
Pride Month may be over, but your library is proud to announce the Archives of Sexuality and Gender, LGBTQ History and Culture. The Archives of Sexuality and Gender include primary source materials from over 35 countries, detailed coverage of the AIDS crisis, and progress of the LGBTQ rights movement in both the US and the UK. It also includes internal records and publication from some of the first gay and lesbian groups. The archives also includes interview transcripts, publications for, by, and about the LGBTQ community, personal correspondence between the LGBTQ individuals, and photographs of LGBTQ life and events. The archives allows you to track term frequency, visualize your search results by using charts and graphs, and take deep dives into individual collections. And it's all free with just your library card. To check out the archives of sexuality and gender, head over to the digital library page at ebrpl.com.
Thanks, Adam. Serious topics deserve thoughtful resources, and this new archive collection gathers it all together in one easy-to-use collection. Other new resources in the digital library include CQ Researcher, Sage Business Researcher, Gale Small Business Builder, and LexisNexis. Check it out at ebrpl.com. Let's shift gears and check in with Kayla Perkins reporting in from Beyond the Stacks.
We love bringing history alive, and since we're celebrating Baton Rouge's 200th birthday this year, we have plenty of reasons to do just that, like this one. Hey Baton Rouge, we're still celebrating 200 years of our city's rich history. We're in downtown Galvez Plaza for the March to Galvez reenactment event. I think we may even run into Governor Galvez himself. Let's check it out. Baton Rouge came out in droves for a festive reenactment of March to Galvez this past month. The Southern University Marching Band joined the public and community leaders to celebrate this historic event.
This event is important to and for the Baton Rouge community because it's a celebration of our 200th year history here in Baton Rouge and commemorating some of the significant events that were part of the fabric of our years. And one of those events, of course, was the march that is taking place, the reenactment today.
So we're going to start at about 2 o'clock. The mayor will make a few remarks. Coca-Cola is here releasing a new bicentennial bottle. They'll make a few remarks. Then we'll have a brief call to arms. We'll get everybody kind of into the militia mode. And we're going to fire off a cannon to indicate the artillery bombardment. We're then going to march down 3rd Street to the Pentagon Barracks where the fort was located. We'll have a little mock surrender of the British forces there, and then we're basically just going to have a little celebration.
It's a beautiful day in Baton Rouge, and I'm so happy that all of you all are here to join in part of the 200-year-long celebration of Baton Rouge's birthday. And so today we are celebrating a part of the storied, rich history that we have here in our city.
What mortal or god comes here in his rage to trouble the gentle peace of my happy banks? You left your fields, children, wives, brave warriors, companions of my glory. It is with your hands that I won my victory. In truth, I have aided the cause of the Americans since the commencement of hostilities. With the aid of America's commercial agent to New Orleans, Oliver Pollock, we have smuggled food, arms, and ammunition up the Mississippi River to General Washington's Continental Army. Now, with a declaration of war, the time for real action is upon us.
The library was a partner, a very happy partner, and working with a number of different groups from across the city and the parish to celebrate Baton Rouge's bicentennial. And so we've been happy to help organize and support this, but it's taken a lot of different people. Just as for Governor Galvez, it took a lot of different people from different groups to come together and achieve independence, or achieve at least independence from the British.
Wow, costumes make history so much more fun. But there's still so much left to celebrate the Baton Rouge bicentennial. To find out what's coming up next, go online to www.batonrouge200.com. I was there 5 minutes before I realized I should have worn a period costume. You really looked the part, Mary.
Thank you, Kayla. Someone had to hand out all those flags. As you said, we still have many more bicentennial programs and events on the schedule, leading up to the finale, Red Stick Revelry on New Year's Eve. Visit BatonRouge200.com to find out more or register your own bicentennial program. Stay right there. After the break, Adam St. Pierre joins me for a chat right here on the Library Roadshow.
There There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Ballerina. Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
You're watching the October edition of the Library Roadshow, everything you need to know about your local library system. Now, over the past few years, the library has put a special emphasis on programs that actively engage us in STEM and STEAM learning. Nowhere is that more evident than in the Baton Rouge Mini Maker Faire each fall. Joining me now is Adam St. Pierre, one of our maker men. So, Adam, what exactly is a Maker Faire?
So a Maker Faire is a celebration of DIY culture. So
What's DIY?
So do-it-yourself culture.
Okay.
So we have makers of the high-tech variety, so folks that work on robotics, folks that do a little coding, folks that do 3D printing, low-tech makers for anyone who sews, anybody who creates something and is passionate about it. That's what we're showing off at the Maker Faire.
So the work of our hands, the work of our minds, the work of our computers.
Yes, all of it.
And in fact, you're wearing a few products from the Maker Faire culture, aren't you?
Yes, I have a 3D printed bow tie on because I needed a bow tie.
And who is this?
This right here is Sprocket. Sprocket has been our mascot for the Baton Rouge Mini Maker Faire for the past 3 of them.
Yeah, and we made him too.
We did.
He's fully articulated, and many sprockets exist all over town.
All over town.
That's right, because we've just been multiplying as you go. All right, so what is on deck for this year's fair? It's coming up on October 21st, which is a Saturday. It's an all-day event right here at the main library at Goodwood. Starts at 10 in the morning.
10 a.m., yes ma'am.
Okay, you have lined up some really cool things.
So we've got probably one of the biggest things that we have is we have Jada Cody coming and doing a food demo. So Jada Cody of Government Taco and
Food Network Star.
Food Network Star. We also have a few other cooking demos throughout the day, as well as a few performances from the Baton Rouge Fire Guild.
We're going to make fire.
We're going to make a little fire, just a little bit.
All right.
And we will have
There's something on wheels.
Oh, there is. There's the hacked Power Wheel racing from a Picayune Pre, which is really cool. They take Power Wheels that you remember when you were a kid. Toy cars, and they soup them up with electronics so that you can race them.
Okay, and we're going to race them around the plaza, aren't we?
Just around the plaza.
I cannot wait to see that. What else is coming? We always have things with robotics, some Arduino, Raspberry Pi. I just love saying all these names.
So we also have presentations throughout the day on different tech topics and
workshops,
presentations. We always have soldering workshops for folks 12 and up. I'm forgetting, all day we will have Red Stick FPV, or first person view drone racing all day on the Breck Field.
That is so cool. So it's basically something that any age can have a good time at. There are special things just for the littles, all the way up to grandma and great-grandma and great-grandpa.
Yes.
And it is free, is it not?
It is free.
Well, people are going to be here all day. They're going to get hungry. Now, we have a food theme, but...
We also are going to have food trucks. We have 6 lined up right now.
Well, that should be good because last year it was a few thousand of our closest friends.
Yeah, just 4,000 of our closest friends.
So lots to do all year long. Now you have to register to come. It is free, but do you need to register?
You do need to register for a ticket through our Eventbrite. We will also have registration on site if you're not able to register online ahead of time.
Right, so you can of course come,
right,
but it's better if you register in advance. That way we can make sure we have enough stuff to make and show and demonstrate.
Exactly.
And you just never know what you're going to see at this wonderful event. So I want you to remember October 21st at the main library on Goodwood. Wear your most comfortable shoes because once you get here, you are not going to want to leave. After the break, the house on Judith Street. Plus, we have book reviews from one of our younger library patrons. All that and more coming up next on the Library Roadshow.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Do you wonder how your family landed here? Do you really know your family roots? Discover more about your family history at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library Genealogy Department. East Baton Rouge Parish Library. Become a member and discover more.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Ballerina. Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to the October edition of the Library Roadshow. If you love a story that'll scare you, then my next guest is for you. Monty Plaisance, author of The House on Judith Street, joins us now by phone. Okay, Monty, how did you get your start as an author?
I got my start as an author at an early age. I started writing really when I was in lower elementary. I started writing short stories about pirates and things like that. So I've always had writing in my blood.
What genre do you work in and what's your process?
I am a student of the paranormal, so I've done a lot of investigations and things like that. So I've decided to take those experiences and fictionalize them into stories with characters based on people that I've known over the years.
Tell us about your latest book.
The book that I am calling about is the first in a series of books called the Night Stalkers series. And the first book is called The House on Judith Street, which is based on and inspired by an actual event at a house on Judith Street in Houma, Louisiana, that myself and 3 friends went into when we were in college and had some really intense experiences there. So the book is actually inspired by truth, not the whole story, of course, but inspired by.
How can viewers find out more about you and your work?
If anybody is interested in learning more about the Night Stalker series, there are 2 books currently available. The 3rd book is in the works with probably about a dozen more that are actually fleshed out and ready to be written as soon as I have the time. But they can learn more about what I'm working on and what my next projects are if they go to my website, which is montyplaisance1971.wixsite.com/nightstalkers, or they can just go to Google and type in Wix, W-I-X, Night Stalkers, and it'll pull up the first one will be the website. It'll be a little easier doing it that way.
The House on Judith Street is a twisted journey through the worlds of the paranormal and the occult, inspired by true events in the life of the author. This chilling story will have you on the edge of your seat. Let's shift gears now and check in with one of our younger patrons to find out what he's been reading at the local library.
Hello, my name is Gianni. My favorite book, I'm 7 years old, my favorite book. Hello, my name is Gianni. I'm 7 years old and my favorite book is Dogman Unleashed. It's about a dog and a man that were the best cops in the world, and then they were gonna stop the evil cat from bombing the city. When the man asked the dog, what color should I cut, green or red? And he was like, grr. And then he cut green, and then it was red, so it blew up. And then they had to go to the hospital. We're sorry, Chief, that's better. Wow, Supper Brain Dots, who got me this? Look what Dogman got you. Oh boy, a fish. I always wanted a fish. I'm gonna name you Flippy. Hooray! Later. You can live here, Flippy. Hey, Chief, don't forget to take your brain dots. My dad brings me to the library. When I come to the library, I like to read books.
Seeing kids who are so enthusiastic about reading never gets old. Stay right there. You're watching the Library Roadshow.
Do you wonder how your family landed here? Do you really know your family roots? Discover more about your family history at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library Genealogy Department. East Baton Rouge Parish Library. Become a member and discover more.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America in your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Henry Cohn Jr. was once described in a 1901 Daily Advocate newspaper article as one of the best-known and most successful merchants in Louisiana. Born in Alsace-Lorraine in 1854, he immigrated to the United States in 1872 at the age of 17 to escape the ravages of the Franco-Prussian War. He first settled in Rodney, Mississippi, but soon moved to West Baton Rouge Parish in 1876. There he met and married Sophie Fahrenbacher, daughter of well-known Baton Rouge merchant Joseph Fahrenbacher. The couple, along with their 2 sons, Joseph and Isidore, moved to Baton Rouge in 1890, where he continued to grow his mercantile business. Outside of running a successful flour and feed store with his son Joseph, he was founder and vice president of the Bank of West Baton Rouge, an officer of the Baton Rouge Transportation Company, which for a time held the much sought-after Port Allen Baton Rouge ferry lease, and was involved in various and often successful real estate ventures. He also was an active member of the B'nai Israel congregation and a much admired member of Baton Rouge society. Here we have a couple of mementos of Cohn's retail adventures. This large ledger is from his West Baton Rouge mercantile store. Each page is an account of a family, business, or individual. It is a running tally of purchases made from the store and is a wonderful insight into not only the types of goods available, but the spending habits, needs, and prices of materials at the turn of the century in rural Louisiana. The picture we have here is of the Baton Rouge location of the Cohn Flour and Feed Store. Located on the corner of Europe and St. Philip Street, the current location of the Belle of Baton Rouge Casino, the business was incorporated in 1911 and operated until it was liquidated in 1937. Cohn passed away on June 11, 1942 at the age of 87. He is buried in the Jewish cemetery on North Street, now near downtown Baton Rouge. See this and many other artifacts of historical significance at the Baton Rouge Room Archive, located inside the Special Collections Department in the main library at Goodwood, where Baton Rouge history comes alive.
You're watching the October edition of the Library Roadshow, a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. As our bicentennial year activities head towards the finish line with Red Stick Revelry on New Year's Eve, we'll keep highlighting interesting tidbits of local history that educate and delight. It's all available at the main library on Goodwood, and it's all free with your East Baton Rouge Parish Library card.
Hello out there in TV land. There's no better time to fall into a great read. To get those pages turning this month, I have a fabulous book. I read The Mountain Between Us by Charles Martin. This book has everything you need: broken hearts, tall, dark, handsome, and brooding protagonists, and so much more. On a stormy winter night, Dr. Ben Payne and writer Ashley Knox are stuck in a Salt Lake City airport when their flights home are canceled. Both of them are in a hurry. Ben has patients to attend to, and Ashley is getting married the following day. Ben hires a charter plane and offers Ashley a seat, but their pilot suffers a heart attack during the flight. The plane then crashes, leaving them stranded in the high Utinas wilderness. Though they survive the impact with injuries, Ben has broken ribs and Ashley suffers a terrible leg fracture. They are faced with harsh weather conditions and the fact that no one knows that they are missing. The ordeal leads them to rely on each other to stay alive and to ultimately bring them closer. This book has been adapted into film and is in theaters right now. It stars Kate Winslet, whom I personally have never trusted since she let Jack drown and freeze to death hanging on that door in Titanic, and the absolutely fabulous Idris Elba. And that's how the page turns.
To get in the mood for all the terrific exhibits commemorating World War I just finished another historical mystery set in Egypt, just before the outbreak of hostilities. Whether you like to read nonfiction, biography, or fiction set during the time period, we've got the books and audiobooks for you, whether you like your history in print, CD, or online. And now for today's contest, visit the library's Facebook page at facebook.com/EBRPL. Let's do a Baton Rouge Bicentennial Maker Faire mashup and post something that you've made that features the color red, or maybe some sticks. That's facebook.com/EBRPL, and while you're there, enjoy. We are not your grandfather's library anymore. What's coming up on the Library Roadshow next month? I'll be reporting back from the Louisiana State Book Festival.
Tune in next month and I'll take you to another fabulous library program.
Coming up next month, I'll share another digital resource with you.
And I will be bringing the bookmobile downtown for the Louisiana Book Festival.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Library Roadshow. And remember, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library is open 7 days a week at each and every one of 14 branches, plus 24/7 on the web. Check us out at ebrpl.com.
And that's how I roll.